Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium here at England Air Park in Alexandria for the Grace Christian Warrior Tournament and today's Warrior matchup between your Grace Christian Warriors and the Northside Christian Warriors of Crowley. So I'm Alex Newell here of Sinlaw Preps here for GSPN, your home of Warrior Baseball all season long. And we're bringing you another production of Warrior Baseball. Tournament time, Warriors taking on the Warriors here today. The Northside Christian Warriors of Class C out of Crowley, Louisiana, making the drive up here today to take on the green and white. Game that just finished here in this tournament, Class 5A Covington, coming all the way up from the North Shore, defeated Class B Simsboro 5-1. In the game immediately before this one. I'll give you an idea of what's been going on here at the Grace Tournament, which has been hosted between here and Rapides High School. Northside Christian has already played 2 games in this tournament. Yesterday, they lost to West Washita 16-1, and then this morning they defeated Block 16-1. So we're ready to get underway here. Starting off on the mound today for the Warriors, number 5, Talon Epnett. And here's the first pitch from him. It's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Leading off at bat for Northside Christian is going to be the center fielder, number 8, Ashby. So Epnett ready to deal again. That's going to be low in the dirt for ball 1. Epnett ready on the mound again. Deals it. And that's going to be low and outside again for ball 2. Epnett just about ready. Ashby ready in the box. And that's going to be a strike in there. So 2-2 count now for Ashby. Epnett looking to get things started for the Warriors with an out. Here's the pitch. He makes contact with it, but fouls it off to the right side harmlessly. Count remains 2-2. No outs here in the top of the first inning. Ashby ready again. 2-2 pitch coming from Epnett. And that's going to be low and outside to load the count. Full count here for Ashby, trying to put a runner on for Northside Christian here in the first batter they have presented so far. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ashby goes down swinging, and Grace starts things off with an out here in the top of the first. So now batting for Northside Christian will be their first baseman, number 5, Richard. And forgive me if we don't have some first names for the visiting Warriors. Have partial roster, but have all the last names. Here's the pitch from Epnett. That's going to be way outside for a ball. Luckily, no one on base to move up on that one. So 1-0 count here for Richard. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be low but in there for a strike. 1-1 count now for the Northside batter. Epnett deals again. And that's going to be in the dirt in front of the plate for a ball. So 2 balls, 1 strike now for Ashby. Another one from Epnett. And he takes a half-hearted swing at that one and makes contact with it at about the middle of his bat for a foul. So make it count 2-2 now for Richard. Way outside, gets away from the Warrior catcher Fuller for a ball. So another full count here for Epnett facing Richard. Epnett hoping to put another one down on strikes like he did the first one. Pitch. And he drives that one to shortstop, deals it to the first baseman, and he is going to be out on the 6-3 out number 2 here in the top of the first. So now coming to the plate for Northside Christian will be their catcher, number 14, Hayden Duhall. 2 outs here at the top of the first inning. Pitch down in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 count here for Duhall. Epnet ready again on the 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes here for Duhall. Here's the pitch. And he gets that one good, but he snags it for the 3rd out as Brady McDaniel snagging the foul line drive to retire the side. Top of the first inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Heading into the bottom of the first, the Warriors coming to bat for the first time. It's 0-0 here at Merrill Blackburn Field. We're back here at Merrill Blackburn Field. Northside Christian heading out on defense as Grace gets ready to bat. Your starting defense for the Northside Christian Warriors on the mound is number 7, Cody Clayton. Behind the dish, number 14, Hayden Duhall. At first base is number 5, Richard. Second base, number 32, Daigle. At third base, number 29, Carter Abear. At shortstop, number 11, Christian Joseph. In left field, number 18, Arthur Wong. In center field, number 8, Ashby. And in right field, number 13, Nick Duhall. So leading off at the plate for the Warriors will be the shortstop, number 42, Cooper Courtwright. Courtwright ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. And that's going to catch the outside part of the plate for a strike. 0-1 count here for Courtwright, getting things going for the Warriors here in the bottom of the first. Pitcher deals. Now it's going to be a little further outside for a ball. So 1-1 count now here for Courtwright. That pitch is going to be a little high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Cooper Courtwright. Clayton deals. Swing and a miss. Courtwright took a healthy swing at that one, but could not come in contact with it. So 2-2 count now for the Warriors shortstop. Clayton ready on the mound, winds up, sends it. That's going to be high for a ball. Full count here now for Courtwright. 3 balls, 2 strikes. No outs here in the bottom of the first. So Clayton ready, deals. He makes contact with that one, but he fouls it off. Keeps the count 3-2. Here's the pitch. And that one is going to be a strike on the outside of the plate. Cooper Courtwright goes down looking for the first out to get things started here for the Warriors. So now batting for the Grace Warriors will be the center fielder, number 27, Logan Markle, with one out here in the first, the bottom of the first, that is. And here's the pitch from Clayton. It's going to be outside, ball one. 1-0 count here for Markle, one out. Cody Clayton ready. Markle makes good contact with that one and pops it up in the right field. Right fielder tracking down. He misses it. Markle's on base at first. He turns to go to second, changes his mind, but thankfully gets back.
Now batting for the Warriors.
And that is going to be a fielding error on the right fielder in E9. So now at the plate for Grace Christian will be the first baseman, number 19, Brady McDaniel. Here's the pitch. McDaniel lets that one go by, and it's inside for a ball. 1-0 count here for McDaniel. Runner on first is Markle. Ball's outside, throw down to second to get Markle, but he's not in time. Logan Markle steals second successfully. So 2-0 count now here for McDaniel. Two balls, no strikes, runner on second now after the steal by Markle. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be low and across the plate for a strike. 2-1 count now for Brady McDaniel. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be just about the same spot for another strike. So 2-2 count now for McDaniel. Pitcher's ready. Deals. McDaniel pops it up. Catcher trying to track it down in foul territory. And he does it, but that landed fair. And it sure looked like it landed fair. But it is ruled a foul ball. So that's going to be a strike, keep the count 2-2. When it came down, the catcher couldn't quite track it. And from my position up here in the bird's nest at the stadium, it looked fair, but that's why I'm not standing behind home plate. So 2-2 count now for McDaniel. One out, pitch. And he lets that one go for a strike. So McDaniel strikes out.
Number 3,
second Warrior batter to go down looking. All right here in the bottom of the first. So 2 outs now. Markle still on second. Now batting for Grace will be the third baseman, number 3, Tyler Accardo. First pitch is going to be outside for a ball. A 1-0 count here for Accardo. Markle takes a big lead at second. The pitch, Markle goes outside. No throw to third base. Logan Markle steals his second bag here in the bottom of the first. The 2-0 count now for Accardo. 2 outs, runner on third. The pitch. Accardo starts to swing but pulls it back and lets it go. That's going to be ball 3. So 3-0 count now for the Warrior third baseman. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low in the dirt, ball 4. And Tyler Accardo takes base on balls here in his first at-bat.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 5, Talon Epinez.
So now batting for Grace be the pitcher, number 5, Talon Epnett. They'll come to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Runners on the corners. Markle at third and Accardo at first. Accardo goes, taking second. Pitcher goes to throw him out at second, and he would have had him if he let it go, but he thought about Markle there at third. So he lets Accardo take second. The pitch will be low and outside for a ball. 1-0 count now for Epnett. But the pitcher would have had Accardo beat at second for the third out, but he worried about Markle and let him go. Instead, we continue the inning. That pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 count now for Epnett. Clayton ready on the mound. Deals it. To the outside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Epnett. Pitch. High and outside for a third ball. So 3 balls, 1 strike now for Talon Epnett, trying to get on base and load things up here for the Warriors with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be high for ball 4, and the Warriors load the bases with 2 outs on back-to-back walks. So now batting for the Warriors will be the designated hitter, number 8, Braden Wells. 2 outs, bottom of the first, bases loaded for Wells. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-0 count now for Wells. Here's the pitch. And catcher did a good job trying to frame it, but that is going to be called for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes now for Wells. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch. Wells lets that one go. That is called a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike now for the Warrior DH. Here's the pitch. Low and dirt for a ball. The 3-1 count now for Wells. Grace hoping to walk a run home here in the bottom of the first. But 2 outs still on the board. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside, ball 4. Oh, they called that a strike. Sure that was outside, but instead we have a full count here for Wells. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom 1. Clayton sends it again. And a foul tip caught by the catcher for the third out. And that will retire the side. So bottom of the first inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 3 men left on base. After 1 inning of play, your score, Grace Christian 0, Northside Christian 0. back here at Merrill Blackburn Field, top of the second inning. Northside Christian, Grace Christian tied 0-0. Leading off for Northside Christian will be the shortstop, number 11, Christian Joseph. Hop up, Epnick trying to get in foul territory, and he's got it for the first out. Oh no, they're saying he dropped it. So Coach Brown coming out, looked like Epnick had it, but they're rolling and he dropped it. I believe Coach Brown's argument right now is that he dropped it after what would have been appropriate to call it now, and they changed the ruling. It is going to be a pop-out, rightfully so. There's going to be a P1 for the Northside Christian batter. So now at the plate for Northside Christian will be the pitcher, number 7, Cody Clayton. Epnick getting ready on the mound. The pitch. The outside for a ball. 1-0 count here for Clayton. Another Epnick pitch fouled off by the Northside Christian batter. Make the count 1-1 now. That's going to be a ball, 2-1 count now for Clayton. That's another ball, make it 3-1 now for Cody Clayton at the plate for the Blue and White Warriors. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside, ball 4. Cody Clayton is on base with a walk to get things started here in the top of the second. So now batting for Northside Christian is number 27. First pitch is high for a ball. It'll be number 27, or third baseman, Carter Abear. That's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now for Carter Abear. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Abear trying to send that one onto a landing strip, but can't make contact with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for him. Runner on first, 1 out, pitch. That's going to be high for a ball. Abear thought about swinging at it, but pulled it back before he got very far with it to make it count 2-2 now. The pitch. That's going to be outside, gets away from the catcher Fuller, and Clayton will move up to second on the wild pitch. So full count now for Abear. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on second. Fuller getting his equipment adjusted behind the bag. Ready to get things going again. Abear ready in the box. Epnick deals it. That'll be high and outside for a ball, and that will bring Abear to the bag. Second walk in a row for Epnick. So now batting for Northside Christian will be the second baseman, number 32, Daigle. It shows bunt, runners on first and second. Pulls it back, but it's called strike. 0-1 count now for Daigle. Epnick ready again on the mound. The pitch. And he watches that one go by for a strike. So 0-2 count now for Daigle. 1 out, runners on first and second for Northside Christian. Epnet watching that runner at second. Turns around, throws him down, but he's back well in time. Keeping the runners honest on the bag is Epnet. And that's going to be a ball. So the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes for Daigle. Epnet ready. Here's the pitch. He grounds that one to second. Throws it to second base trying to get the double play, but can't get it in time. But the runner is out at second. So Daigle will reach base on the fielder's choice, but they do get the runner out at second. So 2 outs, runners on the corners now for Northside Christian. Coming to the plate is going to be the right fielder, Nick Duhall. And Coach Brown coming to the mound to have a conversation with his infield. But while they have their meeting on the mound, to know a little bit about the opponent here, the Northside Christian Warriors out of Crowley. They're 1-6 on the season, got their first win of the season this morning against Block in a 16-1 run rule. Losses this year to Erath, Lafayette High, Elizabeth, Grand Lake, Franklin High, and West Washita yesterday at the Grace tournament. Throw down the third, fakes a throw down, but he holds on to it. So Nick Duhall batting for Northside Christian. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Takes a half-hearted swing at the ball in the dirt for the first strike. 0-1 count now for Duhall. Coach Brown calling his play to his guys. Epnet deals. Outside, gets away from the catcher, but the runner will stay at third, and so will the runner at first.
Let's go.
Another wild pitch by Epnet, but fortunately nobody moves up on the bags for NCS. So makes the count 1 ball, 1 strike now for Duhall. 2 outs. Epnet deals. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for the Northside right fielder. Pitch. Outside, runner goes, and he will get to second safely. Ball got away from the catcher Fuller, and that will move Daigle up to second. Make the count now 2-2 for Duhall. Runners on second and third, 2 outs, top of the second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will retire the side. The top of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. Hanging at the bottom of the second, see the green and white again batting here in a moment here on GSPN. We're back here on GSPN. You're home for Warrior Baseball. Leading off for Grace will be the catcher number 1, Gage Fuller, making his first plate appearance this evening. Cody Clayton still the pitcher on the mound for Northside Christian. First pitch is going to be a ball inside. The 1-0 count here for Fuller. Here's the pitch. It's hardy swing at that one, but can't find it for a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike now for Fuller. And that one's going to be low and a little outside, but it does catch the outside part of the plate for strike 2. 1-2 count now for Gage Fuller. The pitch. And they say that gets across strike 3, and Gage Fuller goes down looking for the first out.
Now batting for
Here in the bottom of the second.
Jacob Merrill.
Third strikeout looking for the Northside pitcher, Cody Clayton. But now batting for the Warriors will be the second baseman, number 24, J.P. Harrell. Strike 1 on that pitch. Harrell went to swing, didn't bring it all the way around, but was a strike regardless. Clayton deals again. Be low for a ball, gets a little bit away from the Northside catcher, but he finds it. Nobody on base. So one ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in bottom 2. The pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. 1-2 count now for Harrell. Clayton with the payoff pitch. High for a ball. 2-2 count now for J.P. Harrell. Here's the pitch. Grounds out on back to the pitcher Clayton, fields it, throws it to first for the second out. J.P. Merrill goes down on a 1-3.
Number 12, Easton Marler.
So now batting for the green and white will be the right fielder, number 12, Easton Marler. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Clayton winds up, pitches it. High for a ball. 1-0 count from Marler. Clayton winds up, deals it again. And that's going to be in there for a strike. 1-1 count now for Easton Marler. Clayton ready again. That one's going to be high, same spot as the first pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Marler. 2 outs, bottom second, nobody on base. And Marler calls time just as Clayton is starting his windup. Both teams still looking for their first hit in the game here in the bottom of the second. Every base runner has reached so far on a walk. And they will catch the outside part of the plate for a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Marler. Northside, 2 base runners so far, both on walks. Grace has had 3, 2 on a walk, 2 on walks and 1 on an error. And Marler fouls that one off way to the right side. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes here for him. Clayton gets his call. Winds up, deals it. Marler drives it. Deep center field, center fielder going back for it. He gets it on the warning track for the 3rd out. So Marler goes down on the F8 to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down here for the Warriors No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. 2 innings down. Your score still Northside Christian 0, Grace Christian 0. So here on GSPN, Merrill Blackburn Field, getting ready to start the 3rd inning here. Warriors tied with the Warriors, 0-0. Your Grace Warriors taking on the Northside Christian Warriors of Crowley. Once again, looking at how things have gone here in the Warrior tournament so far. Earlier today, Northside Christian got a 16-1 run rule win over Block. And a game immediately before this one, Covington defeated Simsboro 5-1. Covington a 13-3 win over West Washita yesterday. Simsboro fell to our Warriors 3-1 yesterday as well. Also yesterday, St. Joseph's of Pluchyville got a 14-12 win over Franklin Parish. Northside Christian had a 16-1 loss to West Washita. And Rapides got an 8-4 win over Franklin Parish. So ready to start things here. Leading off for Northside Christian will be the left fielder, number 18, Arthur Wong. Pitch is high for a ball. 1-0 count here for Wong. Pitch from Etnett. Fouls that one off just to the right of home plate for a strike. A 1-1 count now for Wong. Etnett ready on the mound, deals it. Be outside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike now for the Northside Christian left fielder. The catcher goes to talk with Coach Brown. Coming up next week in Warrior Baseball, they will play a district opponent, the Monterey Wolves, in back-to-back days. 17th, they will head to Monterey to take them on at their field, and then the following day, the Wolves will return the trip here to Merrill Blackburn Field. Then on the 21st, they will face this same Northside Christian squad, as Grace will head down to Crowley to take on the Blue and White Warriors in their home park. Ready to get things going again. Wong back at bat, 2-1 count, no outs. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Arthur Wong. No outs, no runners here in the top of the 3rd for Northside. The pitch. High and a little outside. It was close, but it is a ball. Full count now for Wong. Etnett deals it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wong goes down swinging for the first out. Second strikeout of the game here for Etnett. But back to the top of the lineup for Northside Christian. Batting is their center fielder, Ashby. The pitch. This is going to be a strike. It gets away from the catcher Fuller, but called a strike. 0-1 count here for Ashby. The pitch. In the dirt outside for a ball. And some news, and not baseball news, but some Alexandria sports news. Final score, Peabody defeats Northside High of Lafayette 82-61 to claim their 11th boys basketball state championship in Lake Charles. And that's a hit. Ashby didn't realize it. Epnet fields it, throws it to McDaniel at first for the out. So Ashby goes down on a 1-3. He did not realize that one got fouled. He thought it was fouled off, but it went into play. Now batting for Northside Christian is the first baseman, Richard. But again, 11th boys basketball state championship for Peabody. Congrats to the Warhorses representing Alexandria down there in Lake Charles. Marksville Tigers will be playing for a boys basketball state championship later today as well. Swing and a miss on the pitcher of Epnet. No balls, 2 strikes here for Richard. Epnet trying to put him down and end the inning. Oh, and he flies it out into right field and is going to get down for a base hit. Richard getting the first hit of the night for either team. So the first base runner to earn his base by hit today is the Northside Christian first baseman. Keeps this half inning alive. Coming to the plate now is the catcher, Hayden Duhon for Northside Christian. 2 outs, runner on first. The pitch. Low and outside, gets away from Fuller, looking for it to throw down the runner, but he can't get him, and Richard successfully steals second for the Warriors. So 1-0 count for Duhon, 2 outs, runner on second now. Epnet ready in his stance, checks on the runner again, deals it. That's in there for a strike. Watched it go by. 1-1 count now for Hayden Duhon. Epnet getting ready to deal it again. The pitch. That's in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for Duhon. Epnet looking to get the Warriors out of this inning. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off to the right side. Count remains 1-2 for the Northside catcher. Epnet ready on the mound. The pitch. Grounds that one to second base. He has trouble fielding it, and it gets away from him. And he gets on base. Oh, and now it gets away from Fuller at home, and he moves up to second. So Duhon reaches first on a fielding error by Accardo. Or excuse me, not Accardo. That's going to be J.P. Harrell. Then Harrell tries to throw it in to home to keep the runner at third on, and throws it away from the catcher. So he moves up to second on another error. That pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. Now batting for Northside Christian, their shortstop number 11, Christian Joseph. 2 outs, runners on second and third now after a double error by Grace. The pitch. That's going to be high for ball 2. Two-0 count now for Joseph. The pitch. Below ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes now for the Northside shortstop. Northside Christian trying to load the bases here. The pitch. And Joseph thought he was going to first, but he was mistaken. That is called a strike. So 3-1 count now for the Warrior batter. The pitch. And that one is a ball in the dirt. So Joseph takes base on balls, and that will load the bases for Northside Christian here with 2 outs in the top of the third. Coach Brown coming out to talk with Talon Epnet in the infield. That was Epnet's third walk of the night here in the third inning. We looked at what Grace has coming up here in the near future. We said before, next Tuesday, Wednesday, they will play the Monterey Wolves in back-to-back days. Tuesday the 17th will be away at Monterey, and Wednesday the 18th we will host the Wolves here at Merrill Blackburn Field. Then next Saturday, a week from today, we will play this same Northside Christian team on the road in Crowley before starting the next week with another district opponent in the Avoyelles Charter Vikings. Northside Christian looking to improve things on their season so far, 1-6. Before today, they'd only scored 1 run in any game, doing that 3 times, and run rule losses to Erath and West Washita, and a 6-1 loss to Franklin, shut out by Lafayette High, Elizabeth, and Grand Lake. Playing the Warriors today, they will have a rematch against Elizabeth next week. First pitch is in there for a strike to Cody Clayton. Clayton, 0-1 count, 2 outs, bases loaded for Northside Christian. Clayton reached base on balls in his first at-bat. That pitch is outside for ball 1. 1-1 count now for Clayton. Epnick waiting on a call he likes. He gets it. The pitch. Good pitch, but it can't quite find the strike zone. That's ball 2. A 2-1 count now for Cody Clayton. That one in the dirt for ball 3. 3-1 count now for Epnet. Coach Brown coming out onto the field. And it looks like Epnet's day is finished. 2 2/3 innings of work. Talon Epnet strikes out 2 batters, walks 3, allows 1 hit and no runs. So Grace will go to Brady McDaniel in relief of Epnet now. McDaniel moves over from first. We'll see who takes over first base now for Grace Christian. While they warm up, we will take a short break here on GSPN, and we'll be right back. We're back here on GSPN. Logan Markle will be taking over at first base. Talon Epnet moves into center field as Brady McDaniel takes over on the mound for the Warriors. The 3-1 count here for Clayton. McDaniel, the new pitcher, 2 outs, bases loaded. The pitch. Low, ball 4. And Clayton walks for the second time in 2 appearances, and that will walk home a run for Northside. They take the lead here 1-0. First pitch is a ball Gets away from the catcher, but nobody goes anywhere. Pitch. Takes a half-hard swing in that one, but he goes around for a strike. 1-1 count now for Abear. Takes a swing at that one, strike 2. The 1-2 count now for Abear. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2, 2-2 count now. And he gets him, strike 3, and that will retire the side. The top of the third inning, one run, 1 hit, 2 errors, 3 men left on base. Finally have a score here. It's not the one we want. Bottom of the third coming up. Your score, Northside Christian 1, Grace Christian 0. We're back here on GSPN, heading into the bottom of the third. Grace Warriors trailing Northside Christian 1-0. Brady McDaniel came in relief of Talon Epnick in the top of the third. Bases loaded, a 3-1 count. And first pitch, he walks home, a Warrior runner, to put one on the board for Northside Christian.
Now batting for Grace Christian, number 42, Cooper Courtright.
So leading off for Grace, at the top of the lineup, the shortstop, number 42, Cooper Courtright. Courtright struck out looking in his first at-bat. Here's the pitch. Courtright takes a healthy swing on that one, but can't make contact, and that is the first strike. 0-1 count here for Courtright. Pitch. Another healthy swing, but he can't find that one either. 0-2 count for Courtright. Clayton deals. Fouls that one off right at me, but he didn't get me this time. Count remains 0-2 for Courtright. No outs here in the bottom of the third inning. The pitch. And he drives that one deep center field, and it is gone! Home run, Cooper Courtright. The Grace shortstop drives one into deep center field for a solo shot. And the Warriors are on the board as they tie the game 1-1.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 27, Logan Markle.
Never a doubt on that ball. As soon as it left the bat, it entered into deep earth orbit. And that ties things up here, 1-1. So now batting for Grace will be the first baseman, number 27, Logan Markle. The pitch. That one's going to be low for a ball, 1-0 count for Markle. Outside, ball 2, 2-0 count now. Now that home run by Courtright, Warriors' first hit of the evening here. The pitch. We low in the dirt for ball 2. Or ball 3, excuse me. 3 balls, no strikes here for Merrill. Merrill ready. Clayton deals. And that's going to be low and outside. For ball 4, Logan Merrill reaches base on balls.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 19, Brady McDaniel.
So now batting for Grace is the pitcher, number 19, Brady McDaniel. Comes to the plate, no outs, runner on first here. And the Northside Christian skipper coming out to have a conversation with his pitcher, Cody Clayton. But while he meanders to the mound, look at some scores from around the state today. At the Stanley tournament, Stanley defeats Hornbeck 13-3. Maurepas, 8-6 winner over South Terrebonne. Earlier today here at the Grace tournament, Northside Christian beat Block 16-1. The Bell City tournament, the host Bell City falls to Lake Arthur 17-3. Back at the Stanley tournament, Minden winner over Shoedrink 17-14. The Fairview tourney, Elizabeth gets a 12-0 shutout win over East Beauregard. Grand Lake a 14-3 winner over Episcopal of Acadiana, a team the Warriors shut out earlier this season. The Grant 11-1 winner over Harrisonburg. Acadiana 3-0 win over Sulphur. Airline a 5-2 win over Captain Shreve, and the Ash Trojans fall today 2-0 at the hands of West Monroe. But we're ready to get things back going again. McDaniel back at the plate. Clayton remains on the mound for NCS. Clayton steps off the mound, keeping an eye on Merrill, the runner at first. Coach Brown giving his call to his guys. The pitch. That'll be high and outside for a ball. 1-0 count for McDaniel. Clayton checking on the runner at first. Deals it. That one will get in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now for McDaniel. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say hello to my mother and wife, both listening back home here on GSPN into 337. Throw down to second, gets away from the shortstop. Merrill is in safely at second base. So 1-2 count now for McDaniel. No outs, runner on second now after the steal by Merrill. Clayton ready on the mound again. The pitch. Pops it up. It's going to go out of play. Count remains 1-2. Also, hello to my dad listening in Crowley, to home of Northside Christian. One-two count, pitch. High for a ball, throw down to third, and he's got him. Merrill caught stealing. And that is the first out here. So good throwdown by the Northside catcher, Hayden Duhall. Catches Logan Merrill trying to steal third for the first out. A 2-2 count now for McDaniel. The pitch. Lets that one go for a ball. Full count now for the Warrior batter. 1 out, no one on base. The pitch. Pops that one up over the press box. Count remains 3-2. McDaniel ready back in the box. Full count. 1 out. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low for a ball. Brady McDaniel will reach base on balls. Second batter in a row, walked by Cody Clayton.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 3, Tyler Accardo.
So now batting for the Warriors, be the third baseman, number 3, Tyler Accardo. Accardo reached base on balls in his first at bat of the night. Clayton ready on the mound. The pitch. That'll be just outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes for Accardo. 1 out, runner on first for the green and white. Pitch outside, ball 2. Fakes the throw down to first to get McDaniel back. A 2-0 count now. The pitch. Foul tip behind the catcher makes the count 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Accardo. Warriors out there in their black jerseys and green and white letters and numbers, black pants with white and green stripes down the legs. Northside Christian out in their blue and white camouflage top with gray pants and blue pinstripe. Outside, gets away from the catcher. McDaniel will take second, no throw. So McDaniel moves up to second base on the wild pitch. 3-1 count now for Accardo. 1 out, runner on second here in the bottom of the third. The pitch. And Accardo reaches base on balls for the second time in as many appearances. Third walk in a row
for the Warriors,
for Cody Clayton on the mound. So now batting will be the center fielder, number 5, Talon Epnett. He walked in his first at-bat. 1 out, runners on first and second for Grace. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there for a strike. 0-1 count for Epnett. The pitch. Low in the dirt and outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Talon Epnett. Here's the pitch. Outside, gets away from the catcher. Runners both go, and no throw. They will both move up safely on the wild pitch. So 1-1 count now for Epnett. Runners on second and third now. 1 out still here in the bottom of the third. That one's in there, strike 2. 1-2 count now for Epnett. Coach Brown calls times. We have a courtesy runner. McDaniel will come off the bag, and it looks like it's going to be Holden Graham pinch running on third for McDaniel. Runner on second, still Accardo.
11, courtesy for the pitcher.
And it is going to be Holden Graham, the courtesy runner for the pitcher McDaniel on third. And Epnett watches that one go by for strike 3. After walking 3 batters in a row, Cody Clayton strikes out Talon Epnett for the second out. So now at the plate for Grace will be the designated hitter, number 8, Braden Wells. 2 outs, bottom of the third, runners on second and third. Clayton ready on the mound. The pitch. Swing and a miss. A healthy hack at that one, but it is the first strike. 0-1 count for Wells. The pitch. Makes contact with that one, but fouls it off over the press box for strike 2. Clayton ready on the mound. The pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-2 count now for Wells. 2 outs, bottom third, runners on second and third. Warriors have already brought one in this half inning on a Cooper Courtright home run. The pitch. Grounds that one to the left side, but can't stay fair. It is a foul ball. Count will remain 1-2 for Braden Wells. Got on top of that one a little bit, had enough power to put it deep into left, but couldn't keep it fair. And 1 ball, 2 strikes still, 2 outs. Wells trying to keep this half inning going. The pitch. High for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Wells. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will retire the side. The bottom of the third inning, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left on base. 3 innings down, and the Grace Warriors are on the board now. They tied a game on a solo shot over center field by Cooper Courtright. Heading to the top of the 4th, your score, Northside Christian 1, Grace Christian 1 here on GSPN. We're back here on GSPN, your home for Grace Warrior Baseball. I'm Alex Newell, Sinlaw Preps on the call today. Hanging in the top of the 4th inning, we're tied 1-1 as Grace took the lead on a solo home run by Cooper Courtright in the bottom of the 3rd. Looking at some more scores around the area, around the state today. Pineville is a big 11-9 win over Neville today. Ouachita Parish, a team we saw earlier this season, they had a long day. They played a doubleheader against district opponent Ruston today, and they were outscored 41-2 in those 2 games against Ruston. So we're ready to get things going here in the top of the 4th. Leading off for Northside Christian will be the second baseman, number 32, Daigle. Again, apologies. We have a partial roster for Northside Christian. We have the full name for a few players and just the last name for a few others. And Daigle is one of them. So, a little delay behind the plate. It looks like it's going to be J.P. Harrell actually catching now for the Warriors. First pitch is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes for Daigle. Second pitch is a ball. 2-0 count now. And that's in there for another ball. So make that a 2-0 count for Daigle. Bitch. Oh, and that drills him. And Daigle will take his base after being hit by the pitch. So coming to the plate now for Northside Christian will be the right fielder, Nick Duhall. Duhall ready in the box now. This is the Northside skipper talking with his batter and runner. So Duhall at the plate tries to bunt but fouls it off over the press box. Nick Duhall the batter, Daigle the runner on first for Northside. 0-1 count, no outs here in the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch. Swings, foul, tips that one. For a strike. No balls, 2 strikes now. And we got a full list of the corrections from when Brady McDaniel took over at pitcher. Talon Epnet now third. Gage Fuller moves into center field. Tyler Ricardo goes to second. J.P. Harrell goes to catcher. The 1-2 count for Duhall. And Duhall called Tom step out of the box for a moment. Go talk with the Warrior skipper on the third base foul line. Now talking with the umpire. Looks like there's going to be some sort of substitution. I believe it's going to be a new runner on first.
For 32. 16 for 32.
Yep, and we are going to have a pinch runner for the Warriors. It's going to be number 16, Lazard, pinch running on first for Daigle. Throw down to first, but Lazard gets back. He is safe. So Duhall looking at a 1-2 count now. No outs. Runner still on first. Runner is now Lazard. Throw down to first again, does not get him. Keeping that runner honest, if nothing else. So McDaniel ready on the mound. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, drop ball. Throw down to first is not going to get there. Merrill had trouble getting that drop third strike, and so Duhall will strike out, but reaches first on the drop third strike. First strikeout of the day for McDaniel, but is just about for naught as the runner does get there. And Northside the skipper calling time again. The batter for Northside Christian now will be the left fielder, number 18, Arthur Wong. And he's now sending Wong back to the dugout. It looks like that's going to be the substitution here. Northside only 11 players, so playing a little bit of shuffleboard here with his guys. And it looks like we're going to have a new batter at the plate for Northside Christian. It's going to be number 28, Williams.
28 for 18. 28 for 18.
And it looks like, if I had to guess, Wong will probably be pinch running on first. The runner on second, one out. McDaniel feigns the throw down to second. And it looks like in the last at-bat, Duhon was actually called out on that strikeout. So it is one out here. Pitch from McDaniel. That is a ball. 1-0 count here for Williams. The 1-0 count, one out, runner on second. The pitch. Williams fouls that one off behind the plate for a strike. The 1-1 count now for him, one out. McDaniel getting ready on the mound again. He deals it. Pop up. McDaniel and Harrell looking for it, and Harrell can't quite bring it in foul territory. Well, Harrell had a good line on it, but could not quite get it in. That was a fast-moving pop-up. So count remains 1-2 for Williams. One out, still runner on second here in the top of the fourth. Williams ready in the box. McDaniel ready on the mound. Checks the runner at second, deals the pitch. That's going to be high for a ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Williams. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Williams goes down swinging. Second strikeout now for McDaniel. So now back to the top of the lineup for Northside Christian. At the plate is the center fielder, number 8, Ashby. 2 outs, runner on second. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike now for Ashby. Making his 3rd plate appearance. A strikeout and a ground out in his first 2. Pitch. Low in the dirt for a ball. Gets away from Harrell, but runner stays put at second. So 1-1 count now for Ashby. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he drills him. And Ashby will take his base after being hit by the pitch. Second batter drilled by McDaniel so far. So now at the plate for Northside Christian, the first baseman, Richard, number 5. 2 outs, runners on first and second for Northside. McDaniel gets his call, deals it. Be high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes now for Richard. Here's the pitch. Anyway, high and way outside. Richard has to duck for cover for the second ball. 2-0 count now. Still 2 outs, runners on first and second. McDaniel ready again. The pitch. Be high ball 3, 3-0 count now for Richard. McDaniel trying to compose himself, avoid giving up the base loading walk. Here's the pitch. That's going to be just a little too far inside, and Richard will take his base on balls, and that loads the bases for Northside Christian. Second batter walked by McDaniel. They're coming to the plate now for the Warriors will be the catcher, number 14, Hayden Duhon. Lined out in his first at-bat and reached base on an error in his most recent appearance. So bases loaded, 2 outs here for Duhon. The pitch. That's in there, strike 1. 0-1 count for Hayden Duhon. McDaniel winds up, deals it. Curveball can't get down. It's a ball. 1-1 count now. The pitch. Swing and a miss. A healthy hack by Duhon, but he can't find it. That's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. McDaniel 1 strike away from getting out his jam. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. McDaniel ready again. Duhon calls time, steps out of the box. Didn't like the look on McDaniel's eyes, apparently. So Duhon back in the box. McDaniel ready again on the mound. Here's the pitch. Grounder over McDaniel's head to the shortstop, fields it. Throw to first is in time, and that will retire the side. Duhon goes down on the 6-3 to end the inning here. Top of the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors. 3 men left on base for Northside Christian. Heading into the bottom of the 4th, your score remains 1-1. We're back here on GSPN, your home for Warrior Baseball. I'm Alex Newell. Check the statewide scoreboards once again. See what we can find around the area and around the state. Fairview, a 16-1 win over East Beauregard at the Fairview tournament. Grant, 11-1 win over Harrisonburg. Ash, 2-0 loss today to West Monroe. Pineville, 11-9 win over Neville today. Oakdale, 9-4 win over DeRitter. St. Mary's splits today with a very good Iowa team as they lost game 1 9-2, but turned around to win the second game today 10-0.
Christian, number 1, Gage Fuller.
Leading off for the Warriors will be number 1, Gage Fuller. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Fuller, a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. The pitch. They're in there for a strike. 0-1 count getting started here for Fuller. Cody Clayton, still the pitcher on the mound for Northside Christian. Clayton winds up, deals it. Be low and in the dirt for a ball. 1-1 count now for Fuller. Clayton ready again on the mound. The pitch. And he'll catch the inside part of the plate for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for Fuller. Wind up the pitch. And he puts that one grounder into center field. And Gage Fuller gets on base with a leadoff single to get things started here in the bottom of the 4th.
Number 24, Jacob Harrell. They didn't think I would do it, but I did it. Really having it. Really
and now batting for the Warriors will be number 24, J.P. Harrell. Harrell out on a ground out from to the pitcher in his first at bat. Showing bunt, throw to first. Does not get him. Fuller is safe. But Harrell back in the box. Clayton keeping a close eye on Fuller at first. Harrell shows bunt again. Ball's outside, pulls the bunt back. Runner goes, and J.P. Gage Fuller is gunned down at second for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. Harrell showed bunt. Fuller tried to steal. The second time the Northside Christian catcher, Hayden Duhon, has gunned down a Grace runner trying to steal a base. So 1 out now, 1-0 count. Just inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes now for Harrell. 1 out, bottom 4th. We're still tied 1-1. Here's the pitch. It'll be high for a ball. Make that a 3-0 count now for J.P. Harrell. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike now for J.P. Harrell. Here's the pitch. And he lines that one into center field, and that's going to be a base hit for J.P. Harrell. Back-to-back singles for Grace. Puts another runner on the bag.
Now batting for Grace Christian, number 12, Easton Marler.
Now batting for the Warriors be the right fielder, number 12, Easton Marler. Marler flew out to center field in his first at-bat. One out here in the bottom of the 4th. Runner on first for Marler. Clayton ready on the mound. Steps off, checks the runner at first, no throw. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes here for Marler. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Marler let a good one go by him for the first strike. 1-1 count now, 1 out, runner on first. All ones across the board right now here in the bottom 4. Next pitch is outside, gets away from the catcher, but the runner at first will stay put. So 2 balls, 1 strike now for Marler. Ready in the box. Clayton checks on the runner at first. He's ready on the mound. Deals it. Outside, ball 3. 3-1 count now for Easton Marler. Clayton ready again. The pitch. As in there, strike 2. Full count now for Easton Marler. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Clayton ready. The pitch. That's going to be low for a ball. Easton Marler takes his bag after drawing the walk. Now put runners on first and second now for Grace Christian as Cody Clayton walks his 5th batter of the day. Are now batting for Grace Christian, the shortstop number 42, Cooper Courtright. In his last at-bat, he launches one into low orbit over the center field wall for the Warriors' only run here so far. That's in there for a strike. 0-1 count getting started here for Courtright. Clayton watching that runner at second, deals it. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, a healthy hack by Courtright, makes the count 0-2 now. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, Cooper Courtright goes down on strikes for the second time. And has the second out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting for the Warriors.
6th strikeout of the afternoon for Cody Clayton. But now batting for Grace will be Logan Markle, number 27. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Pitch. We'll catch the outside part of the plate for a strike. 0-1 count for Markle. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be just about the same spot. Outside part of the plate makes a strike 2. 0-2 count for Markle. The pitch. Contacts that one, fouls it off to the right side. Count remains 0-2. That pitch is outside for a ball. 1-2 count now for Markle. Here's the pitch from Clayton. And he watches that one go by for the strikeout, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. Heading at the top of the 5th, your score remains Grace Christian 1, Northside Christian 1. We're back here here on GSPN, getting ready for the top of the 5th inning. Grace Christian all knotted up with Northside Christian. 1-1 still. So leading off for Northside Christian will be the shortstop, number 11, Christian Joseph. Joseph 0 for 1 here tonight with a pop out and a walk. Makes contact with that one, but drives it deep out into foul territory off to the right side. The 0-1 count for him. Grounds it to third base, throw to first is in time. And Joseph goes down on a 5-3 to get things started here in top 5 for Northside Christian. And now batting for the Warriors in blue will be the pitcher, number 7, Cody Clayton. He has walked in both of his plate appearances so far. McDaniel deals. He drives it deep right field, but it's right to the right fielder, and that is going to be an out. The first pitch fly out to right field puts 2 outs on the board already for Northside Christian. And coming to the plate now will be the third baseman, number 27, Carter Abear. The pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1-0 count for Abear. 2 outs, top of the 5th, nobody on base. Next pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now count for Abear. Catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. 1-2 count, trying to put this inning down quickly. Next pitch is inside again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, alternating strikes and inside pitches so far. The pitch from McDaniel. Inside, ball 3. Full count now for Carter Abear. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. McDaniel getting ready on the mound. Abear ready in the box. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. And it's going to be called high for a ball. And Abear will take base on balls for the 2nd time in 3 at-bats. So this half inning stays alive. Now batting for the Warriors, number 32, Daigle. Runner on first, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Ball in the dirt, throw down to second. Runner is in there, safe. Carter Abear still second for NCS. So there's going to be a 1-0 count here for Daigle. Coach Brown coming out to make a substitution, it looks like. Now all we got to see is where. Yeah, it looks like the expressions on the umpire, maybe a couple of substitutions. It may not be substitutions. Coach Brown pointing towards Northside and pointing at the batter's box. And he has a NCS lineup. Now that I can see that it is an NCS lineup that they're looking at. And the question may be about the current NCS batter, Daigle. I think they might be trying to see if Daigle might have been burned on a substitution. So they're still trying to figure things out here with the home plate umpire. We'll take a look around, see if we can find a few baseball scores. Or a few more baseball scores, I should say. But it looks like they make it.
32, re-entering for 16. 32 for 16.
Okay, so now we have concluded what went on. Lazard had pinch run for Daigle at first in the last NCS appearance at the plate. And so now it's subbing Daigle back for Lazard. That's why Daigle at the plate now instead of Lazard. And so now Coach Brown having probably a similar conversation with the other umpire. And now the home plate umpire summoning the Northside Christian skipper to try and figure things out. We had mentioned this earlier in the broadcast. There's nine players in a starting lineup if you don't have a designated hitter, which NCS does not. There's 9 players in their starting lineup. They only have 11 players on their whole roster. But ask their coach about that. They only have 11 players here with them today, and 9 of them on the lineup. So now the home plate umpire talking with the NCS head coach, and then Coach Brown having a conversation with the other umpire trying to figure this out about what I believe whether it should be Daigle or Lazard at bat right now, because Lazard pinch ran for Daigle at first, but Daigle is not the pitcher, so it was not a courtesy runner. So they're trying to conclude if he's burned or not, because Daigle is back at bat now, not Lazard. But it looks like things are figured out. Daigle is the batter. 1-0 count, 2 outs, runner on second. The pitch. It'll be just high for a ball. 2-0 count now for Daigle.
Come on, Brady.
Foul tip goes out behind the home plate. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Daigle. So Daigle ready again at the plate. McDaniel was ready on the mound, but he wants to change the ball. He wants a fresh ball, and he gets it. So ready again, 2-1 count for Daigle. Runner goes, but he's got him. McDaniel throws a third, and he tags him out. Epnick gets him, and that retires the side. The top of the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Heading into the bottom of the 5th, your score still Grace 1, Northside Christian 1. Does it? Nice. Oh, that's good, so it'll work. We're back here on GSPN, getting ready to start the bottom of the 5th. We'll have McDaniel, Accardo, and Epnick leading things off for Grace here in bottom 5.
Now batting for the Warriors.
And leading
number
off
19,
is the pitcher, number 19, Brady McDaniel. 0 for 1 so far with a strikeout and a walk. Cody Clayton still on the mound for Northside Christian. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball one. 1-0 count for McDaniel. Here's the pitch. He drives that one deep left center, going back, and it is out of here! Home run, Brady McDaniel! And the Warriors go yard for the second time this evening, and they lead 2-1. Brady McDaniel left no doubt about it when he got a hold of that one.
Number 3.
If you're driving down I-49, watch your windshield for that ball. It ought to be coming down any time now. So now batting for the Warriors will be the second baseman, number 3, Tyler Accardo. The pitch. Way high, gets away from the catcher for a ball. 1-0 count for Accardo. So second home run here for the Warriors. Brady McDaniel knocking that one out. And Cooper Courtright with the other home run. Next pitch is a ball for a 2-0, make it a 2-0 count now for Accardo. Pair of solo shots give the Grace Warriors the 2-1 lead now here in the bottom of the 5th. Next pitch is a ball in the dirt. 3 balls, no strikes now for Accardo. Can expect something pretty hittable here. And that one's outside, ball 4. Tyler Accardo officially now 0 for 0 through 3 plate appearances as he has walked in all 3 at-bats so far tonight. That is going to be the 6th batter walked by Cody Clayton tonight. And now the Northside Christian skipper coming out to see Clayton, and it looks like his night is going to be finished. So through 4 complete innings of work, Cody Clayton struck out 7 batters, only allowed 2 runs and 4 hits, but he walked 6 of them, walked 6 batters. So 7 strikeouts, 4 walks allowed, 4 hits, 2 runs scored for Cody Clayton tonight through 4 complete innings. And so we will, in fact, have a new pitcher. Cody Clayton looks like he's going to move over to third base. And he is. Clayton's going to move over to third base now, taking over on the mound for Northside Christian. That's going to be number 11, Christian Joseph, moving over from shortstop to the mound now. Cody Clayton will move over to third. That looks like Carter Abear will take over as short now for Northside. While the new Warrior pitcher warms up, we'll take a look at a few more scores. A surprising score in Class 2A as well. Upsets Kinder 5-3. Oakdale getting a big win over DeRitter today, 9-4. Pine Prairie with a 4-3 win over Eunice. Bonky gets a 4-1 win today over Beauchamp. We're ready for action here again. Now batting for Grace will be number 5, Talon Epnett. No outs, runner on first here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, been low for a ball, feigns the throw down to first. 1-0 count here for Epnett.
That's about that. The phone's about that to go on the charger, yeah. Which it should reach right there. I just want to make sure it's in a spot where I can plug it in there.
Yeah, but you can't use it.
Yeah, I'll have to switch back to how it was is the problem. Yeah. That battery goes pretty quick because it was full at the start of the game. It just goes by pretty quick running that.
Yeah, how you want to do
I can wait a minute.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was just trying to get the signal. You can play with it later.
There we go.
The 2-1 count for Epnett. Walked and struck out looking in his 2 plate appearances so far. No outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off over the press box. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Epnett.
What I noticed before, the charger's pretty fast, so it's kind of, the way the game is kind of going, kind of a little more slow paced. Probably maybe able to switch the lap to the mic. If it gets to about 30%, I'll switch back to it, but we'll also make sure it's sharp enough for the interview after too.
Puts that one in play. It'll be a close play at first, and he gets away from the first baseman on a throw. Going around the second now. A corner coming around the home. They can't get the ball in time, and a corner will score. And the Grace extends it to 3-1.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 8, Brayden Wells.
So Epnett reaches first on a single, then it's going to be an E5 on the throw to first, gets away from him, moves Epnett all the way up to third on the error, and brings Accardo home. So now Grace Christian leads 3-1 now. After the Epnett single and the throwing error by the Northside third baseman brings Accardo all the way home and puts Epnett on third.
Oh, and line drive in the left field, and that's going to bring Epnett home too. Wells going around first. Ball is all the way at the wall, and Brayden Wells
gets in safely with the RBI double, and Grace extends their lead again now to 4-1.
Grace Christian, number 1, Gage Fuller.
The Warriors putting 3 runs on the board here in the bottom of the 5th now. Now batting is going to be Gage Fuller, runner on second. Still no outs here. Way high, gets past the catcher, but Wells will stay put on second. So 1-0 count now for Fuller. 1 for 2 so far with a single and a strikeout. The pitch. Fuller takes a hack at that one, but he'll go roll it a foul ball. Make the count 1-1 now for Fuller. Joseph ready, deals it, shows bunt, lays it down. Joseph fields it, throw to first. It'll be in time for the out, and they're going to allow Wells to move up to third.
Now back to Grace Christian, number 24, Jacob Harrell.
So Fuller goes down on a sacrifice bunt to move Wells up to third, and that'll bring J.P. Harrell to the bag now. 1 for 2 with a single. That pitch is outside and low for a ball. 1-0 count for Harrell. Joseph deals it. It'll be high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now for J.P. Harrell. Another, that's going to be in there for a strike. 2-1 count now for Harrell. Two, one out, runner on third, bottom 5th. Here's the pitch. Be low for another ball. 3-1 count now for Harrell. Runner on third is Wells. Foul tip. Gets away. Count. It'll be full count now for J.P. Harrell. Joseph Reddy deals it. Fouls that one off, keeps the at-bat going. Count remains full. 3-2, 1 out, runner on third. Grace leading 4-1 now. Joseph Reddy, he deals it. Pop up, shallow right, they can't get to it. That's going to fall for a base hit. And J.P. Harrell is going to bring in a run on an RBI single. And Grace extends their lead again now to 5-1 on the single by J.P. Harrell. Now batting for the Warriors will be number 12, Easton Marler. And Joseph steps off the mound for a moment. His skipper talking to him from the dugout. Now Marler ready in the box again, 1 out, runner on first. Pitch is outside for a ball, throw down to first, not even close. And a runner is back in there safely. Throw down to first, that one's not close either. And that is actually going to be a pinch runner on first for Grace. It's going to be number 14, Connor Campbell. He slipped in there while I was blinking my eyes. Here's the pitch. And they say he got him. It looked like it was inside, but it does catch Marler. He's hit by the pitch and moves up to first base. So runners on first and second now for the Warriors. And coming to the plate, the shortstop, number 42, Cooper Courtright. 1 for 3 this evening with a solo shot over the center field wall back in the third inning. The 1 out, runners on first and second for Courtright. Joseph gets a call he likes on the mound, the pitch. Curveball drops in for a strike. 0-1 count for Courtright. The pitch. Be low in the dirt for a ball. 1-1 count now for Courtright. The pitch. Be high for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike now. 1 out. Runners on first and second for Grace. Here's the pitch. Outside in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Both runners move up, and there's not going to be a throw to anywhere. So both the runners move up on the wild pitch. 3-1 count now. Runners on second and third with still just 1 out here. Pitch. That is above Courtright's head, and he's going to reach base on balls. And that will load the bases up now for the Warriors.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 27, Logan Markle.
So now coming to the plate is Logan Markle. And the Northside Christian skipper coming out to see his pitcher, Christian Joseph. He's struggled a little bit so far. He's only walked 1 batter, but he's given up 3 hits, hit another batter with a pitch, and given up 3 runs, 2 unearned and 1 earned. All 3 coming in this half inning as the Warriors have put up 4 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. They maintained a 1-1 tie for a couple innings and now blown things open here a little bit with Grace leading 5-1 now. And it looks like Joseph's day is probably done. We're trying to conclude things because as we've talked about, as we've mentioned before, Northside Christian, not a very deep roster at all. 9 positions in the field, and they only have 11 players, and this is already 1 pitching change for them. So umpires are talking this out. One talked with Coach Brown, the other with the Northside skipper, trying to figure out what they're going to do and where they're going to put who. And yes, Christian Joseph's day is done. Allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, walked a batter and hit a batter. So moving over to pitcher for Northside Christian will be number 14, Hayden Duhall. He's been their catcher so far. And while they are ironing things out here, we'll check back at the statewide and local scoreboards, looking at some Class B action. Bell City falling 17-3 to Lake Arthur at their own tournament. Over at the Stanley tournament, Shudrint loses a barn burner to Minden 17-14. Elizabeth getting a 12-0 win over East Beauregard 12-0. Episcopal of Acadiana, another team Grace saw earlier this season, they're shut out. They lose to Grand Lake 14-3. Fairview getting a win in their tournament. They beat East Beauregard 16-1. Harrisonburg falls to Grant 11-1 in some local action. And Stanley at their tournament getting a 13-3 win over Hornbeck. Some other local scores. Ash, a 2-0 loser to West Monroe today. Pineville with an 11-9 win over Neville. Oakdale defeats DeRitter 9-4. And Bunkie gets a 4-1 win over Beauchamp. One game that should be currently underway, Gina on the road at St. Edmund. And Rapides fell to West Washita 8-1 today earlier here in this tournament. Block fell to this Northside Christian team 16-1 at this very tournament as well. And St. Mary's splitting the doubleheader today with Iowa, falling 9-2 in the first game, but then turning around and shutting out a very good Iowa team 10-0. So we're ready again. At the plate now is Logan Markle. 1 out, bases loaded here. First pitch from Duhon is a strike across the outside part of the plate. Christian Joseph moved over to first from the mound. Next pitch is a ball in the dirt. 1-1 count now for Markle. The pitch. In there for a strike. 1-2 count now for Markle. So the full Northside Christian changes. Hayden Duhon takes over at pitcher. Christian Joseph moves to first base, and Richard moves to catcher. Next pitch is a ball. 2-2 count now for Markle. 1 out, bases loaded. Next pitch is another ball. Full count now for Logan Markle. Duhon deals in the dirt for a ball, and that will walk home a run for the Warriors. They extend their lead now to 6-1.
The Warriors, number 19, Brady McDaniel.
And they've now put up 5 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. That is 3 consecutive Warrior batters walked here. So now at the plate is number 19, Brady McDaniel. First pitch to McDaniel is inside. He has to get out of the way. 1-0 count here for him. The pitch. McDaniel contacts that one, but he fouls it off to the left side for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now for McDaniel. 1 out, bases still loaded for the green and white. Duhon winds up, deals it. He'll be way outside, gets away from the catcher, but nobody moves. And they got 2 balls, 1 strike now for Brady McDaniel. McDaniel ready back at the plate. Duhon ready on the mound. Wind up, pitch. Be high for a ball. 3-1 count now for McDaniel. He homered in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2. The pitch. Low and outside, ball 4, excuse me. And the Warriors walk home another run.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 3, Tyler Aquino.
They'll make that 6 runs across here in the bottom of the 5th. Grace now leads 7-1 here. And coming to the plate is going to be number 3, Tyler Accardo. Accardo has walked in all 3 of his plate appearances so far. First pitch to him is a ball, 1-0 count. So 4 straight walks for Warrior batters. And Accardo looking to make his 4th walk. So we have a courtesy runner for McDaniel as Holden Graham will come back out to first again to pinch run for the pitcher McDaniel. So we're ready again, 1-0 count, the pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. 1-1 count now for Accardo. Next pitch is high and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Ricardo. Trying to come out here and draw his 4th walk in 4 at-bats. The pitch. That's going to be way outside behind Ricardo's back. 3 balls, 1 strike now for Tyler Ricardo. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 in the dirt. And that is the 5th batter in a row walked for Grace. And that brings another run home for the Warriors. Make the score now 8-1. As the Warriors have now put 7 across here in the bottom of the 5th. So now at the plate will be number 5, Talon Epnett. And there's still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, mind you. The pitch. We catch the inside part of the plate for a strike. 0-1 count for Epnett. Epnett has walked, struck out, and hit a single in his 3 appearances. Throw down to third. Catches Markle off the bag, and he is out. Markle picked off by Hayden Duhall for the 2nd out here. So now runners on 1st and 2nd for Epnett. 0-1 count for him. 2 outs. The pitch. That catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes now for Talon Epnett. Duhall ready on the mound. Deals it. It'll be low in the dirt and outside for a ball. But 1 ball, 1 strike now. 2 outs, runners on 1st and 2nd. Duhall steps off the bump, keeping the runners honest. Keeping a close eye on Graham there at 2nd. Duhall gets the call he likes. Feigns the throw down to 2nd. Nobody's there to receive the ball, but he gets Graham back on his base. Still a 1-1 count for Epnett. Ball gets away from the catcher. Runners move up. No throw. So Graham and Ricardo move up to 3rd and to 2nd respectively on the wild pitch. The 2-1 count now for Epnett. Duhall gets his call, feigns a throw down to 3rd. Now he's ready on the mound. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Talon Epnett goes down on strikes for the 2nd time, and that will mercifully retire the side here. So let's get the abacus out for this one. Bottom of the 5th inning, 7 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 2 men left on base. So heading into the top of the 6th, your score now, Grace Christian 8, Northside Christian 1. We're back here on GSPN. You're home for Grace Christian Baseball. I'm Alex Newell. Top of the 6th getting started. Brady McDaniel still on the mound for Grace. Coming to the plate now will be number 32, Daigle. His 2 plate appearances so far, he reached on a fielder's choice and a hit by pitch. Takes a swing at that one, connects with it, but fouls it off to the right side over the visiting stands. So 0-1 count here for Daigle. Grounder goes over McDaniel's head, fielded by the second baseman, can't quite get a hold of it. And Daigle is going to reach base with a single there. Was a little hard to field with that bouncer. So we'll give him the hit there. So coming to the plate now is going to be the pitcher, Hayden Duhall, or excuse me, going to be the right fielder, number 13, Nick Duhall. First pitch is going to be a strike, 0-1 count for Duhall. Next pitch is a ball in the dirt, 1-1 count now for Nick Duhall. McDaniel keeping a close eye on Daigle at first. The pitch, swing and a miss for a strike. 1-2 count now for Duhall. No outs here, top of the 6th, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Foul tip. Goes over the catcher. Duhall stays alive for now. 1 ball, 2 strikes still. McDaniel ready on the mound, deals it. Fouls that one off too. Count still remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Duhall fighting to keep this at-bat alive with a runner on first and no outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss, but it gets away from the catcher. Throw to second, does get the runner at second. So there's an out there. So Duhall will strike out swinging, but gets to first on the drop strike. The pitch. Foul tip. Be Williams at bat now, number 28 for Northside Christian. McDaniel winds up, deals. Way over the batter's head for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike now for Williams. 2 outs, nobody on base. Here's the pitch. Pop up. Etna trying to track it down, but it goes out of play. There's a 1-2 count now for Williams. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will retire the side. Fourth strikeout there for Brady McDaniel. Top of the 6th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Heading into the bottom of the 6th, your score, Grace Christian 8, Northside Christian 1. So we're back here in the bottom of the 6th, leading off for Grace. Be number 8, Braden Wells. He doubled in his last at-bat. First pitch from Duhon is a ball in the dirt. 1-0 count for Wells. Next pitch is another ball in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes now for Braden Wells. Here's the pitch. Just about the same spot as the last 2. Ball in the dirt. 3-0 count now for Braden Wells. 5 of the last 6 Grace batters have reached on base on balls. Here's the pitch. And way inside, ball 4, and Braden Wells draws a walk now.
Now batting for Grace Christian, number 1, Gage.
So now batting for Grace, be number 1, Gage Fuller. Fuller 1 for 2 in his appearances so far. He went out on a sacrifice bunt in his last at-bat, and he has a single today. Duhon feigns a throw down to first. So 11 Grace batters have reached base today via the walk. First pitch from Duhon is a ball outside. 1-0 count for Fuller. Oh, and that catches Fuller on his helmet, but he is completely unfazed. And he will take his base.
Grace Christian, number 24, Jacob Merrill.
So now batting for the Warriors will be number 24, J.P. Harrell. He comes to the plate with no outs, runners on first and second here in the top of the 6th, or here in the bottom of the 6th. Merrill is 2 for 3 so far with a pair of singles, including an RBI single in his last at-bat. Here's the pitch from Duhon. It's going to be in there for a strike. Ball gets away from the catcher, but nobody moves. 0-1 count here for Merrill. Coach Brown calling time. And we're going to have a pinch runner heading over to second. That's going to be number 25, Pierre Lemoyne, coming out to pinch run on second for the Warriors. Now be Braden Wells coming out off a second. The 0-1 count here for Merrill.
25 for 8. 25 for 8.
So Merrill ready in the box, 0-1 count. Duhon getting ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes here for J.P. Merrill. Here's the pitch. That ball's in the dirt. 1-2 count now for Merrill. Still no outs. Runners at first and second. Lemoyne on second, and it's going to be Fuller on first. Duhon feigns a throwdown, gets Lemoyne back on second base. He's ready on the mound. Deals it. Outside or inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Merrill. The throw back to the pitcher gets away from him, but nobody attempts to move up. So still a 2-2 count, no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Grace leading 8-1. Duhon deals it. High and outside for a ball. Full count now for J.P. Merrill. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Duhon ready to pitch. Outside ball 4. JP Harrell takes his base on balls. And that will load the bases again for Grace.
Number 12, Easton Marler.
5th batter walked here by Hayden Duhon.
14.
And Harrell is going to come off of first base. Pinch running for him will be number 14, Connor Campbell. And coming to the plate for the Warriors will be number 12, Easton Marler. He has a fly out, a walk, and was hit by a pitch in his most recent at-bat. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there for a strike. 0-1 count for Marler. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 for Easton Marler. 0-2 count now. No outs. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 6th inning. Green and white leading 8-1. Duhon feigns the throw to third again, keeping Lemoyne honest. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-2 count now for Marler. Here's the pitch. In the dirt and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Marler. The pitch. Outside and in the dirt again. Ball 3, full count now for Easton Marler. Duhon ready. Pitch. Marler makes contact with it. First baseman tracking it. He runs into the Grace first base coach. And they're going to call interference on the Grace first base coach. And they're going to call Easton Marler out on interference. So that's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. Coming to the plate now, be number 42, Cooper Courtright. Got 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a solo home run in his 4 appearances so far. Duhon comes off the mound, feigning to throw down again. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. 1-0 count now. He drives that one. It's deep. It's off the wall. That's going to bring at least two runs home. And that's going to be a 2 RBI double for Cooper Courtright.
Now batting for the Warriors.
Cooper Courtright with another big play there brings 2 more runs home for Grace. That makes the score now Grace 10, Northside Christian 1. And at the plate now is going to be number 27, Logan Markle. 1 out, runners at second and third. First pitch to Markle is a strike, 0-1 count. The pitch. A piece of cheese hanging over the plate, but Markle gets under it, pops it up for a foul over the press box. 0-2 count now for Logan Markle. Here's the pitch. Way outside, gets away from the catcher. Runner will stay at third. A 1 ball, 2 strikes now for Markle. Markle ready again in the box. Duhall back ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Logan Markle. Markle gets a piece of that, fouls it into the dirt. Count remains 2-2. Markle fouls another one off. Count remains still 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. Way outside, gets away from the catcher again, but nobody moves up on the wild pitch. So full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes for Logan Markle. The pitch. Markle fouls another one off, keeping this at-bat going. Count remains full. Feigns a throw to third. And that one's in the dirt, ball 4. Logan Markle draws a walk for the 3rd time today in 5 appearances.
Number 19, Brady McDaniel.
6th batter walked by Hayden Duhall here. Coming to the plate now will be number 19, Brady McDaniel. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 for Brady McDaniel. News from the World Baseball Classic ongoing. Italy eliminates Puerto Rico today. Just now 8-6, keeping their amazing run alive. Next pitch is a ball in the dirt. 1-1 count now for McDaniel. Throw down to third. He actually throws it this time, but the runner gets back in time. That's Connor Campbell. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here for McDaniel. Bases loaded. Pitches inside for a ball. 2-1 count now. Here's the pitch. Low and outside in the dirt, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike now for Brady McDaniel. Warriors may walk another run home here. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. And that will bring another run home on a walk for the Warriors, and that is how this one ends. As that makes the score 11-1, and the run rule goes into effect, and that is your ball game, folks. Final score: Grace Christian defeats Northside Christian 11-1, and what a game here! It was neck and neck the whole way through, 1-1, going into the fifth. But Grace put 7 runs on the board in the bottom of the fifth inning to propel them to the 11-1 victory here today at their own tournament. So Grace goes 2-0 here at the Grace Christian tournament. They moved to 16-1 on the season now to conclude their participation in the Grace Christian tournament of 2026. Next up on the docket for the Warriors next week, they will play the Monterey Wolves in district action in back-to-back games on Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday will be on the road in Monterey, and Wednesday we'll be back here at Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium. So make sure and stay tuned here on GSPN, because here in a little bit we will have our post-game interview with Coach Josh Brown of the Grace Warriors. And we will break down not only today's victory over Northside Christian, but we will also break down last night's victory over Simsboro. So this has been another production of GSPN Grace Warrior Baseball. Make sure and stay tuned on the channel for the post-game interview with Coach Josh Brown. I'm Alex Newell. We will see you again in a moment.